Ladies and gentlemen, is William Ruto exposed?
I've issued this statement because it's the right thing for me to do. We are facing a situation in our country where the representatives of the people, the senators and members of the National Assembly, have been bought and compromised by William Ruto.
Who is leaking information to Rigathi Gachagua?
We have information that is confirmed that in a GG2G arrangement that has been negotiated with the companies that are selling oil to Kenya, in the landed cost of petrol, William Ruto pockets 30 shillings per litre, and in diesel he pockets 40 shillings per litre. This is what we need to discuss. So, although the matatu owners have agreed to have some negotiation, it must start from there.
Do we have a mole in government?
Let me go to the issues of Turkana that would have sorted out the issues of petroleum in our country. William Ruto and Gulf Energy forced Tullow Oil to surrender the production and prospecting of oil in Turkana to them at a cost of 120 million US dollars, which is equivalent to 15.6 billion Kenya shillings. And that is why they have added so much profit in the landed cost of fuel to enable them pay this 15.6 billion to acquire full rights in oil in Turkana. Gulf Oil and William Ruto created a false debt with the Tullow Oil that they are supposed to pay 350 billion for full ownership, which is a lie. The final price was 120 million US dollars, which is equal to 15.6 billion. The US dollars 250 billion, equivalent to 350 Kenya shillings, billion shillings, is a lie. And this is where the catch is, that in 10 years, every barrel of oil gotten from Turkana will cost 100 US dollars. $85 will go towards paying this forced debt. Effectively, that money will go to William Ruto and Gulf Energy. You are left with 15 shillings, which will be divided 75% to the national government, equivalent to 1,440 shillings. 20% to the county government of Turkana, equivalent to 384 shillings, and 5% to the Turkana community, that is 96 shillings. It's pure theft.
William Ruto should be careful.
Our fuel does not come from Iran. It doesn't go through the Strait of Hormuz. Our fuel is sold by ADNOC in Dubai and Saudi Aramco in Saudi Arabia. That is where the fuel is processed, and therefore this story that we are having a challenge because of the Strait of Hormuz is hot air. The issue, as I've explained, is that William Ruto has loaded very big profit in the landed cost of fuel, and that is the way to deal with it.
Before we dive deep into this video, kindly, if you're watching it for the first time, like, subscribe and share. I will really appreciate. Today in UK, Rigathi Gachagua addressed Kenyans. Let
me say that we should not be told that we are having a challenge because of the Strait of Hormuz.
He said William Ruto surrendered Kenya to Dennis Itumbi.
Yesterday, it was a circus. When there is such a national crisis, William Ruto is out of the country. He designates a blogger, Dennis Itumbi, to chair a meeting of such serious issue. The transport officials who were there were shocked that a meeting attended by the CS for National Treasury, the CS for Transport, and the CS for Energy and Petroleum was being chaired by a blogger, Dennis Itumbi. That is how casual William Ruto treats the people of Kenya. When the whole country is at standstill, the economy is paralyzed, nothing is going on in the country, he has the audacity to designate a blogger to chair a meeting to unlock the crisis. And that is a problem we have with the country. And many people have been asking me, how did we get here? And I have told them, William Ruto surrendered the leadership of the country to a blogger called Dennis Itumbi, a standard 2 dropout called Oscar Sudi, a standard 6 dropout called Farouk Kibet. Those are the people who run the country. Kindiki was in the country. He was not asked to chair the meeting. He's just another flower girl. The president doesn't think much of him. He asked Dennis Itumbi to go and chair the meeting.
He said Dennis Itumbi made calls to PS and CEOs, and what he told them is surprising.
And yesterday, principal secretaries and CEOs from the mountain called me crying that Dennis Itumbi is harassing them to raise $1 billion shillings to fund the Olkalau by-election. And every PS from the mountain has been forced to produce 20 million shillings to go and fund Olkalau by-election. Every CEO from the mountain has been asked to give 30 million shillings to fund the Olkalau by-election. And they are crying because they had to borrow similar amounts for the Bere by-election.
For the first time, through Rigathi Gachagua, I knew that the office of former President Kibaki is now used by Dennis Itumbi. That is according to Rigathi Gachagua.
And you can't believe it, that the office that was purchased by government for retired President Mwai Kibaki, the 3rd president of the Republic of Kenya, the greatest president Kenya has ever had, that office where Kibaki used to sit is where Dennis Itumbi is sitting. He is sitting on the chair Mwai Kibaki was sitting on. He is using the office that was being occupied by Mwai Kibaki. What disrespect to Mwai Kibaki and to the people of Kenya, that a blogger has been allocated the office that was occupied by the 3rd president of the Republic of Kenya. And that is where the PSs and the CEOs of parastatals are being summoned by Dennis Itumbi. And he calls the president and puts him on speakerphone and says, I have told them your message. They are preparing.
He did not leave it there. He went after Murkomen.
But of course, the worst joke is Kipchumba Murkomen.
He called Murkomen childish.
Even if William Ruto wanted a college into BCS Interior, why can't you look for a serious, mature fellow? Why do you give the job to a CS who is childish and juvenile? A fellow who reduces a national crisis into a tribal joke.
Moving forward, William Ruto must be careful, because certainly there is someone who is exposing him. There is someone leaking information to Rigathi Gachagua. Thank you for watching.